My vote rocks.
My vote rocks.
My vote rocks.
Hello everyone and welcome to My Vote Rocks, coming to you from Bandra in Mumbai, and what an absolutely fantastic setting. You can see the sea out there, the sun's about to set. I love this so much that I want to do every single episode from now. Producers, please take note. We've got a great audience out here and an absolutely fantastic panel, so now you can clap for yourselves. Why was the clap for that louder than when I came in? That's what I want to know. Okay. So we're going to be having a range of really interesting questions. Now, what this show is all about, as I'm sure all of you know, is about trying to figure out what young people think of a number of issues. And today, we're going to be taking a look at a number of social issues. Marriage, live-in relationships. You get the general idea. Pre-marital sex, we'll throw that in at some point as well. And I'm going to start off by welcoming the absolutely fantastic panel that we've got with us. Rahul Bose, put your hand up and say hi to everyone. Rahul Bose out there. Anuradha Menon sitting right next to you. Should I call you Lola quickly?
Either way, I answered it both, Vikram.
I can either call you Lola or Anuradha,
Absolutely.
as the case might be. Okay, there you are. Raghuram, host MTV Roadies, sitting out there. Raghu, this is a family channel. You're going to be polite to me, or are you going to give it to me at some point?
I'll keep shut.
No, you can't keep shut. Now, that's not allowed. So, Raghuram, guys, it's great to have you with us. Shaina NC out here, shall I introduce you as BJP leader, spokesperson, or no? This is a social interest. We're going to get you to talk. We're going to get you to disagree violently with the gentleman sitting in front of you. How about that?
Done.
Okay, so there we are. Pravesh Rana, host Emotional Atyachar. Pravesh. Great to have you with us. Pallav Patankar. Pallav, wonderful to have you with us, a gay rights activist. Thank you all so much for being with us. All right, folks, let's just dive straight into the first major question that we want to talk about, which is about marriage. Do you all believe in the institution of marriage? All those who do, raise your hands. Or raise a flag, actually. You have green flags, red flags, raise it. All those who agree with the institution of marriage. One red flag somewhere, no? No one has a red flag, so okay. Everyone believes in the institution of marriage out here, which is interesting. So let me ask you another question. Love marriage or arranged marriage? All those in favor of love marriage, raise your green flags. You all believe in love marriage? Yes. Anybody here who believes in it? Oh yeah, she's undecided. You're holding both up. So either that means you're schizophrenic or it means that you are undecided.
No, I believe in both love marriage as well as arranged marriage. It could be arranged, before you have a love affair, and then it could turn into an arranged marriage. Like I am married. And the same.
Let me get that straight. I've heard of people having an arranged marriage and saying, "Baad mein love ho gaya."
No.
But you're saying that it's a love marriage.
Yeah. Mine is just the opposite. We were in love with each other before marriage. And after that, it became an arranged marriage.
So basically, you persuaded your parents that this is the perfect match for me. That's what you did.
Our parents also were well aware of that we were knowing each other. Parents were also involved in it.
Basically,
Okay,
she
so
was
you were lucky.
and then she arranged
I'll
her
tell you
marriage.
what, you were lucky. You tell me, love marriage, arranged marriage,
Love
bit
marriage,
of both.
definitely.
Love marriage.
Completely.
What's wrong with arranged marriages?
It doesn't give you the choice. Anything that takes choice away from you, it cannot be all good. I'm all for choice.
So that's why you think love marriage would be better.
Yeah, of course.
Shaina?
To each his own. You have to realize that half of India does not live in cities, and there is a certain kind of mindset that adheres to arranged marriage and feels that people conform to norms. If
Yeah.
it works for you, so be it. If you fall in love, you're lucky too. But whatever you do, make sure your marriage works.
Okay, whatever you do, make sure your marriage works. Love marriage, arranged marriage. Rahul?
Vikram, I think that even in a love marriage, I think the love kind of fades away in the first 4 or 5 years. What's left is, can you laugh with the person? Can you share your deepest insecurities? Can you be a good friend to each other? And I think the chances of that happening in an arranged marriage are not low. But I agree with Raghu that even in an arranged marriage, there should be a sense that I can be friends with this person for many, many years together. I think the love part of a marriage is highly, is stressed, is too overstressed. Finally, it's friendship.
Is it?
Look,
Love
I'm a
is
single guy.
overstressed.
I think it's overstressed.
All those who agree with that, wait, pick up your flags. Do you agree that love in a marriage is overstressed? Those who agree with it,
One sec,
green flag.
and friendship friendship and understanding and laughter
Okay,
and
so
being
friendship
together.
is more important.
I think what he's saying is that instead of classifying them as love and arranged marriages, it should be self-choice versus an arranged marriage. That would kind of take the whole I'm in love with
Yes,
this
I
person
agree with you.
out of the equation.
I agree with you.
Then we talk about it.
Okay, fine. Pravesh, which
uh,
of them do you find it easier to do emotional atyachar with? Love marriages or arranged
We
marriages?
don't get married people on our show. But I think there have been only one incident. I think everyone wants to fall in love. But if you don't find the right person, then there comes an age where you want to get married. Irrespective of whether you found someone that you've fallen in love with or not. And then I think arranged marriage comes into the picture. If you fall in love with someone, perfect. If not, then why not arranged marriage? Each to his own, as she said.
Okay. Anuradha?
Well, I'm a Malayali who's married for 4 years to a vegetarian Gujarati marine engineer. I mean, would I have
Was that
decided?
arranged or was that not arranged?
Certainly not. Would I want to get married to a vegetarian Gujarati? I don't think so. But it happened. My cribbing, no. I mean, it's great. Also because we were friends for so long. I think today, even if I have a crush on a boy, the first one I want to call is my husband and tell him, you know what, I met a really nice boy today. I don't know if that's disturbing or just, evolved.
I was about to throw it to the garage. Is it disturbing or is it not disturbing? Okay, we'll be
Well, we
last.
have a 9-month-old son, and yeah, it's to each his own. Yeah. What
Okay.
works for you?
To each his own. Pallav, perhaps a bit of an unfair question, seeing as you are a gay rights activist, there are not that many arranged
So I would go for the arranged marriage because every day I try to convince my mother to find me a suitable boy, but she refuses. No, but I would say if there was no love, I don't think we would continue the fight and continue doing what we do.
Okay, so before I come to all of you and get your reactions to it, you want to see what the results of the opinion poll were? Let me start coming to the opinion poll. And remember, this is the Hansa Youth Opinion Poll where we ask them a bunch of questions. So, what is better, a love marriage or an arranged marriage? Here were the results. 63%, and this is urban youth, 63% said arranged marriage is better. 15% said love marriage is better. 13% said they'd be okay with both. And interestingly, it was in the East that a larger number of people said love marriages. 29% said love marriages and 24% said okay with both. All right, let me ask, who has a theory or a comment on this?
In arranged marriage, you can happily put the blame on your parents if it doesn't work out. But in love marriage, it solely depends on you because you have chosen the partner.
So you work that way harder to make it work?
No.
Actually, I don't know. I've heard it said that sometimes people work harder in arranged marriages, maybe because the expectations are lower.
Actually, it's true.
Rate of successful love marriages are lower than the rate of the successful arranged marriages. We can look at our parents. They have been arranged married, and for so many years, it's a success.
But that could be for other reasons. I mean, that could also be because some of those marriages are unhappy, but they don't think that they can walk out of them.
See, I think people work harder in a love marriage rather than arranged marriage because when they introduce their partner to their parents and then say that, she's the one or he's the one, parents say, okay, fine, it's your choice, go ahead and get married. So when the problems start coming, it's their responsibility because they can't go to the parents and say, you did this and now this is the problem. However, in arranged marriage, many people do this.
Scapegoat.
Yeah, you call your mother and say, I told you that this is not right for me and then this has happened. Or the girl would call her mother or her father and say that I'm facing these problems, please sort it out. So they try and escape from that.
Okay.
I think it's all about expectations. In love marriages, your expectations are very high. In arranged marriages, most people go with very low expectations. So when your expectations are lower, you just feel it's more satisfying or fulfilling.
Okay, give it to him and then...
As Mr. Rahul has told, it is quite, you have to be practical because at the end of the day, if the love fades away after 4 or 5 years, then there is no point in being a relationship. But yes, you have to be practical, and the upper hand which you get in your arranged marriage is like your parents are always there with you. And in your love marriage, maybe you are out of the country because you love each other and you have to go out at some other place. So the benefit of doubt, I think you get in arranged marriage.
Okay, can I ask you all a question now? Get your flags ready. In your hands, green and red. How many of you believe in live-in relationships? How many of you think that there's nothing wrong with a live-in relationship? So all those who agree with a live-in relationship, raise your flag. Okay, lots and lots of green who are people agreeing with. I think I saw some red flags out here, right? So let me come to you. Why don't you agree with a live-in relationship? Actually, I'm quite surprised that a number of people who think are okay with it, but this is Mumbai at the end of the day.
if you are responsible enough, I think people should opt for a marriage. I believe that way. As she said, to each his own.
To each his own. Somebody who's in favor of live-in marriage, live-in relationships. Okay. Why are you in favor of a live-in relationship?
You need to understand the person. You need to have the bond. People get married and after 6-7 months they get separated. Another thing that comes to my mind when I talk about separation is that the girl is tagged. She was married to this man, now she's divorced. Then nobody gets attracted towards her. Why create so much of mess in your life? Do what makes you happy. If living with that person makes you happy, go for it.
Okay, let me then expand the question to put it a bit more precisely and then I'll come to you. So a lot of you said you were okay with the concept of a live-in relationship, and which means you're not running it down. But given a choice, would you prefer a live-in relationship or would you prefer marriage? All those who would prefer a live-in relationship, raise a red flag. Those who prefer marriage can raise a green flag. Marriage, green flag. Live-in relationship, red flag. You'd prefer a live-in relationship to marriage. Why?
If two people want to live with each other, why would they need a tag of married? If they're happy to live with each other together without marrying, why would one need?
China's about to choke. China,
No.
elaborate.
I just think that, the institution of marriage is so beautiful and it is sacrosanct. It teaches you how to procreate for the future generation. If you're living with a partner, clearly you're not going to have children. There are so many questions which come to living in, being selfish, where the boy dumps the girl, he's out, it's a quick exit route. Atrocities against women can increase. So
There are a heck of a lot of atrocities against women in marriages too, let me add.
Yes, in both cases, but much more and much easier route for a man to exit if he's just living in with somebody.
Raghu?
So I think that...
You agree with what she's saying?
No, I don't agree with you. I think domestic violence is an issue which is being confused here with whether they have a marriage license or not. I think violent men and violent women...
It's not just domestic violence, it's about the institution of marriage.
Yeah,
We live in a society, if everyone just wants to live in with each other, hop in and hop out, what kind of social norms are we talking about?
But nobody's saying everybody wants to live in. I'm saying anybody who wants to, let them, it's their choice. Just by a couple of people living together doesn't make the institution of marriage redundant. It doesn't. It really doesn't. I am married. I used to be in a live-in relationship and I got married to the same woman. It's not that I do believe in marriage. Of course I do. Here's my ring. But I think that people who want to live in with each other for whatever reason, whether it is practical that they don't get time to spend with each other, they don't want to spend money on rents for 2 houses, or whether it is as a trial period for their marriage, or whether they personally do not want to get married, I think it's their choice. I don't think we should be judging them on saying that this is immoral or this is against the... Okay, forget immoral. This is against social... No, it's not against social
It's an
norm.
opinion.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a difference between a judgment and an opinion.
Sure, definitely. My mistake. It's an opinion. But I don't think it should be frowned upon as something that leads to atrocities against women and easily a man walking out and all that. Today, of course, a woman in a relationship, live-in relationship, has the same rights as that of a wife. Secondly, it does take a lot more commitment living in a relationship where I don't have families, I don't have society forcing me to be with this woman because I'm married to this woman or because I have children, but I choose to be with her. That shows a lot more commitment.
This is the male perspective. Hear it from a woman too.
Definitely, there are repercussions on another woman. Definitely.
Yeah, Lola.
I just think a lot of times a live-in relationship, yes, is a precursor to marriage. There are also examples of a lot of couples who've lived together for 7 years and then they get divorced in a year. Now, in your head, you're thinking, technically, there's no difference, right? You were living in before. But I think obviously the institution of marriage applies some sort of pressure on you, or that piece of paper means something that maybe you start expecting more from the other person. I don't know what it is. But obviously, for me, I would rather, I never lived in with my husband.
So you prefer marriage is better than a live-in relationship and so on?
It depends on what, for me, I like the idea of discovering things about my partner once you're married as opposed to,
Okay. You said there's no emotional atyachar episodes for married people. There are enough for live-in people in live-in relations. Why? Easier to do atyachar there?
What she said, that it's a man's point of view. I completely agree with Raghu, whatever you said. But it's the choice of two individuals. Nobody is forcing anyone to stay with someone.
if a man can walk out, a woman can monk out as well. So I think live-in relationship is purely based on the understanding between these two people, and it's not against any culture. It's not contradicting marriage as well. So if two people decide to live with each other and they like each other's company and their lives, the way their work is, it perfectly suits them, there's no problem to that. They are not affecting anyone else. They're just living.
It could cause trauma to the families once in a while.
Absolutely. You need to be less selfish and think about the society you live in.
What
you
effect
have
is-
parents,
what-
you have
what-
the
what
girl's
is-
parents,
yeah,
there are
but-
lots of expectations when it comes to a relationship where people feel that if you have reached the level of wanting to live together, why not just get married?
Okay, before you make another attack, I'm a Narendra Modi fan, let me tell you that.
So that justifies your mind anything which you say. China, that's taken
I'm a
out to say
Narendra
whatever he
Modi
wants.
fan, but at the
Currently,
end of
anyone saying that is exempt.